When dealing with parallel conductors, understanding the National Electrical Code, specifically Section 310.4e, is crucial for determining ampacity. The question at hand involves two 300 mcm cables per phase, and whether the combined ampacity is equivalent to twice the ampacity of a single 300 mcm cable or equivalent to the ampacity of a 600 mcm cable. The answer, according to the NEC, is that the ampacity is equivalent to that of a 600 mcm cable. Section 310.4e, titled Parallel Conductors in Air, provides specific guidelines. It states that when parallel conductors are installed in free air, the ampacity of each conductor must not be less than the ampacity of any of the other conductors of the same circuit. Furthermore, when parallel conductors are installed in raceways, the ampacity of each conductor must not exceed 80% of the ampacity of a single conductor in a raceway of the same size. The key concept here is that conductors installed in parallel are considered as a single conductor for the purposes of determining ampacity. Therefore, in this scenario, the two 300 mcm cables per phase are treated as a single conductor when determining the overall ampacity. Consequently, the combined ampacity is equivalent to that of a 600 mcm cable. To elaborate on this, let's break down the components involved. Firstly, the term mcm stands for 1000 circular mils. It's a unit of measurement used to express the cross-sectional area of a conductor. A 300 mcm cable has a cross-sectional area of 300,000 circular mils, while a 600 mcm cable has a cross-sectional area of 600,000 circular mils. Secondly, ampacity refers to the maximum amount of electrical current a conductor can carry continuously without exceeding its temperature rating. Ampacity is influenced by several factors, including the conductor's material, size, insulation type, and the surrounding environment. The NEC provides ampacity tables that list the allowable ampacities for various conductors under different conditions. Thirdly, the concept of parallel conductors involves running two or more conductors in parallel to increase the overall ampacity of a circuit. This is often done when a single conductor of sufficient size is impractical or unavailable. Parallel conductors must be of the same material, size, insulation type, and termination. The NEC also imposes requirements for the proper arrangement and termination of parallel conductors to ensure equal current sharing. Understanding NEC Section 310.4e is crucial for correctly calculating the ampacity of parallel conductors. Firstly, conductors must be of the same electrical characteristics. This includes the same material, such as copper or aluminum, the same insulation type, such as THHN or XHHW, the same length to minimize impedance imbalances, and the same termination method, using appropriately sized connectors. Secondly, conductors must be sized appropriately. While the combined cross-sectional area of the parallel conductors must be equivalent to or greater than the required size for the total load current, each individual conductor must be large enough to handle its share of the current. The NEC specifies that each conductor must have an ampacity not less than the rating of the overcurrent device protecting the circuit. Thirdly, the physical arrangement of conductors is critical to ensure equal current sharing. When conductors are installed in raceways, they must be arranged to minimize inductive reactance differences. This typically involves grouping the conductors together in the same conduit or cable tray. When conductors are installed in free air, they should be spaced equally apart to promote uniform heat dissipation. Fourthly, termination of conductors requires careful attention to ensure secure and reliable connections. All parallel conductors must be terminated in the same manner, using appropriately sized connectors that are listed for use with parallel conductors. The connectors must be properly tightened to ensure a low resistance connection. Fifthly, ampacity adjustments and corrections must be applied as necessary. The NEC requires ampacity adjustments for ambient temperature and the number of conductors in a raceway or cable. These adjustments must be applied to the ampacity of each parallel conductor. Sixthly, overcurrent protection must be provided for the parallel conductors. The overcurrent device, such as a circuit breaker or fuse, must be sized to protect the conductors from overload in short-circuit conditions. The rating of the overcurrent device must not exceed the adjusted ampacity of the parallel conductors. Seventhly, documentation is essential for maintaining a safe and compliant electrical system. All parallel conductor installations should be documented, including the conductor size, type, ampacity, arrangement, termination, and overcurrent protection. This documentation should be kept readily available for inspection and maintenance purposes. The NEC provides detailed requirements for parallel conductors in sections 310.10h, 310.4, and other related sections. These requirements address various aspects of parallel conductor installations, including conductor sizing, ampacity, arrangement, termination, and overcurrent protection. Firstly, conductor sizing is determined by calculating the total load current for the circuit. The combined cross-sectional area of the parallel conductors must be sufficient to carry this load current without exceeding the conductor's temperature rating. The NEC provides ampacity tables that list the allowable ampacities for various conductors based on their size, insulation type, and operating conditions. Secondly, ampacity is the maximum amount of current a conductor can carry continuously without exceeding its temperature rating. The ampacity of parallel conductors must be adjusted for ambient temperature and the number of conductors in a raceway or cable. The adjusted ampacity must be equal to or greater than the total load current for the circuit. Thirdly, arrangement is a critical factor in ensuring equal current sharing among parallel conductors. The conductors must be arranged to minimize inductive reactance differences. This typically involves grouping the conductors together in the same conduit or cable tray. Fourthly, termination requires careful attention to ensure secure and reliable connections. All parallel conductors must be terminated in the same manner, using appropriately sized connectors that are listed for use with parallel conductors. The connectors must be properly tightened to ensure a low resistance connection. Fifthly, overcurrent protection must be provided for the parallel conductors. The overcurrent device, such as a circuit breaker or fuse, must be sized to protect the conductors from overload and short circuit conditions. The rating of the overcurrent device must not exceed the adjusted ampacity of the parallel conductors. Firstly, the term raceway generally refers to any enclosed channel designed to hold wires or cables. Common types of raceways include conduits, tubing, and cable trays. Secondly, free air refers to conductors that are exposed to open air and not enclosed in a raceway. This allows for better heat dissipation and typically results in a higher ampacity rating. Thirdly, understanding the difference between these two installation methods is essential for applying the correct ampacity rating factors. The NEC provides specific guidelines for ampacity adjustments based on the number of conductors in a raceway and the ambient temperature. In the case of conductors installed in raceways, the NEC requires ampacity rating when there are more than 3 current-carrying conductors in a single raceway. This rating is necessary to account for the increased heat generated by multiple conductors in close proximity. The rating factors vary depending on the number of conductors and the type of raceway. For example, if there are 4 to 6 current-carrying conductors in a raceway, the ampacity of each conductor must be reduced to 80% of its original value. This rating ensures that the conductors do not overheat and potentially cause a fire. In contrast, conductors installed in free air typically do not require ampacity rating as long as they are properly spaced to allow for adequate ventilation. The NEC specifies minimum spacing requirements for conductors in free air to prevent overheating. These spacing requirements vary depending on the voltage and current levels. For example, conductors operating at 600 volts or less must be spaced at least 1 inch apart. In cases where conductors are installed in both raceways and free air, the ampacity rating requirements for raceways must be applied to the portion of the conductors that are installed in raceways. The portion of the conductors that are installed in free air may be subject to different ampacity rating requirements depending on the specific installation conditions. It's important to consult the NEC for detailed guidance on ampacity rating for conductors in both raceways and free air. The NEC provides tables and examples to help electrical professionals determine the correct ampacity rating factors for various installation scenarios. It is important to note that the NEC is a complex and comprehensive document. It's essential to consult the latest edition of the NEC and to seek guidance from a qualified electrical professional when designing and installing electrical systems. Here are some additional considerations to keep in mind when working with parallel conductors. Firstly, ensure proper conductor identification. Each parallel conductor must be clearly identified to indicate its phase or polarity. This helps prevent accidental misconnections and ensures proper circuit operation. Secondly, use matched sets of conductors. When installing parallel conductors, it's best to use conductors from the same manufacturer and production lot. This helps ensure that the conductors have similar electrical characteristics. Thirdly, provide adequate support for conductors. Parallel conductors must be properly supported to prevent sagging or strain on the terminations. The support interval should comply with the NEC requirements. Fourthly, inspect connections regularly. Parallel conductor connections should be inspected regularly to ensure that they are tight and free from corrosion. Loose or corroded connections can lead to overheating and potentially cause a fire. Fifthly, follow manufacturer's instructions. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions for installing and terminating parallel conductors. This helps ensure that the installation is safe and reliable. Sixthly, consider voltage drop. When running parallel conductors over long distances, it's important to consider voltage drop. Voltage drop can reduce the performance of electrical equipment and potentially damage it. The NEC provides guidelines for calculating voltage drop and selecting conductors that minimize voltage drop. Seventhly, consult with a qualified electrical engineer. For complex or critical parallel conductor installations, it's best to consult with a qualified electrical engineer. An electrical engineer can provide guidance on conductor sizing, ampacity rating, and other technical aspects of the installation. In summary, understanding the NEC requirements for parallel conductors is essential for ensuring safe and reliable electrical installations. By following the guidelines outlined in the NEC and seeking guidance from qualified electrical professionals, it's possible to design and install parallel conductor systems that meet the demands of modern electrical loads. To further illustrate the concept, consider a scenario where you need to supply 400 amps to a load. You could use a single conductor that is rated for 400 amps. However, if a single conductor of that size is not practical or available, you could use two parallel conductors, each rated for 200 amps. The combined ampacity of the two parallel conductors would be 400 amps, which is sufficient to supply the load. In this scenario, it's important to ensure that the parallel conductors are properly sized, arranged, and terminated as described earlier. You would also need to apply any necessary ampacity rating factors based on the installation conditions. The NEC provides tables and examples to help you determine the correct ampacity rating factors. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that the parallel conductor installation is safe, reliable, and compliant with the NEC. Another important consideration is the type of load being served by the parallel conductors. Some loads, such as motors, may have high inrush currents that can exceed the ampacity of the conductors. In these cases, it's important to size the conductors and overcurrent protection to accommodate the inrush current. The NEC provides specific requirements for motor circuits, including guidelines for conductor sizing and overcurrent protection. You may also need to consider the harmonic content of the load current. Harmonic currents can increase the heating of conductors and equipment, which can reduce their ampacity. In these cases, it's important to use conductors and equipment that are rated for harmonic currents. The NEC provides guidelines for dealing with harmonic currents in electrical systems. In addition to the NEC, there may be other codes and standards that apply to parallel conductor installations. For example, local building codes may have additional requirements for electrical installations. It's important to be aware of all applicable codes and standards and to comply with them. The process of selecting the right size and type of conductor, calculating ampacity, and applying rating factors can be complex. It's important to take your time and to double-check your work to ensure that the installation is safe and compliant.